Amongst the first to volunteer in September 1914 was Dick Barron, a junior travel agent with Thomas Cook in London.
You can't imagine war fever in those days. A patriotic war fever. I mean, we were at school told the thin red line. The soldiers were very, very spectacular creatures. And how they fought in the Crimea and the wonderful charge of the Light Brigade. It was all very romantic.
Robbie Burns grew up in the Scottish village of Gourock and was a 19-year-old clerk working in Glasgow.
Everywhere you went in Glasgow, the great big posters up of Kitchener with his finger pointing at you. No matter where you were, this finger seemed to be pointing at you. Your king and country need you. However, I worked in an insurance office, and I went to the window. I could see probably 200 or 300 men, and the pipes always seemed to do something to rouse my enthusiasm. I thought to myself, well, I want to do something like this.
Another was Jack Rogers, an apprentice shoemaker in his father's business in Hammersmith.
I was keen to go. I thought I'd like to be a soldier, you know, and do a bit of shooting. I always fancied being a rifleman, that was the point. And when I went up to Shepherd's Bush, which was the recruiting depot, they gave me then the choice of 3 different regiments I could have been in. The third one was the old Sherwood Foresters, 7th Battalion, and they were called the Robin Hood Rifles. So I fancied that. I thought I'd like to be a Robin Hood Rifle.
Norman Collins from Hartlepool had enlisted at the age of 18 into the Seaforth Highlanders, a regiment renowned for its fighting spirit.
I knew a little about the history of the Seaforths, and I liked the regimental tartan, and I was proud to be what you call a patriot, and a volunteer who was willing to defend his country and willing to die for his country. We were thrilled, and we were ready to do what was necessary to push the Germans back into Germany. We were determined to do that.
Well, we wanted to fight the Germans anyway. We couldn't let the Germans get away with that blinking old Kaiser and his son. We used to hate them people. But we certainly wanted to, you know, get out and do our bit because we thought they might be taking over here, you see.
Let them all come. Here we are, here we are, here we are again.
We embarked on all our stuff. And before we were about to start, something happened which I shall never forget. The whole of the ship's company, from the top deck right down, including ourselves, suddenly burst into song in unison. Homeland, homeland, when shall I see you again? Land of my birth, dearest place on earth, I'm leaving you. Oh, it may be for years, and it may be forever. Homeland, homeland. Up to then, the whole thing had been most enjoyable, but my heart stood still. I suddenly realised that this was a warfare. I may not return.